The display. The air on Vashkara tasted like metal and cold smoke, the kind of air that always came before political theater or public execution. General Maya Arden felt it on her tongue even before the shuttle doors opened. Her wrists were bound in elegant-looking restraints, thin silvery bands that disguised their brutal magnetic locking system. She kept her chin high anyway. 1,000 years of peace between Earth and the Galactic Empire. 1,000 years of diplomacy. 1,000 years since the old wars that nearly wiped humanity out. And now she was standing on an enemy landing platform, taken by force, surrounded by Imperial dominant troops. Maya wasn't surprised they dared to do it. Extremists always broke peace first. What surprised her was how calm she felt about it. The stillness in her chest, the clarity in her eyes. She had learned long ago that fear was a luxury reserved for those who didn't carry the weight of billions. The guards marched her forward. She did not stumble, though they tried to shove her hard enough to provoke a reaction. She gave them nothing. The Grand Forum Tower rose before her, a monolithic ring of obsidian steel and shimmering glass. Every balcony overflowed with alien citizens, their voices merging into an ocean of noise. Banners of the Empire snapped in the wind, blood-red with the golden talon insignia. One of the guards leaned close to her ear, his breath smelling like acid. "Your people will kneel again, human." She didn't look at him. "You should hope so." The guard hissed in irritation, but she sensed the hesitation beneath it. These soldiers knew her reputation. Maya Arden was not just a general. She was the human who negotiated the Treaty of Solis, the one who fought in the Void Wars, the one even Imperials respected, until now. A booming voice echoed across the city. "Bring forth the human." Her escort tightened formation. Cameras hovered into position like silent mechanical insects. The platform beneath her began to rise, lifting her toward the center of the arena-sized auditorium. Light exploded around her, spotlights, holographic projections, shimmering displays. And then the crowd saw her. A wave of noise crashed down. Cheers, jeers, gasps, and something else, fear. Maya remained perfectly still as the dais locked into position. Chains shimmered around her wrists and ankles, more decorative than functional. The Empire wanted this to look ceremonial, not crude. They wanted to display her like a relic of a conquered species. The Emperor himself stepped forward onto the balcony above her. Emperor Varric Tor wore ceremonial armor of black obsidian plates, each carved with the victories of his ancestors. His presence radiated arrogance, not strength. He spread his arms wide. "Citizens of the Empire, today we reveal the truth behind the humans' false equality." A roar of approval swept through a portion of the crowd. Others shifted uncomfortably. Varric continued. "This woman, this general of the human species, came to Vashkara under the guise of negotiation. Yet we know what humans truly desire. Influence, intrusion, deception." Maya's jaw tightened. She had come under official diplomatic invitation. The Empire had broken the treaty the moment they attacked her shuttle. A massive hologram flared to life above her, showing her image. Maya Arden, standing tall in her black general's uniform, metal shining. Next to it, another hologram displayed her now, bloody, restrained, stripped of her rank insignias. "Look at her," the Emperor said. "A symbol of a species that once terrorized the galaxy. A species we mercifully spared 1,000 years ago." Maya lifted her gaze, finally, meeting Varric's eyes. Her expression did not change. "Humanity must be reminded of its place," Varric declared. "This general is not here to negotiate. She is here to be displayed, as proof of the Empire's supremacy." Gasps rippled through the audience. Even some Imperial officers shifted uneasily. Broadcasting a captured diplomat was a violation of every interstellar law, every code of honor. Maya inhaled slowly. This moment, this humiliation, this was the true beginning. Varric stepped closer to the railing. "Humanity will kneel once more. And they will kneel because they have seen what happens to those who cross the Empire." Silence fell, because Maya Arden finally spoke. Her voice carried without amplification, calm, and cold. Do you think this display makes you powerful? The Emperor stiffened. Maya lifted her chin under the blazing lights. You didn't display a prisoner today. You displayed your fear. A murmur rippled across the crowd. Holocams zoomed in. You were not alive, she continued, during the last war. You don't remember what happened when the Empire pushed too far. Her voice sharpened. But humanity remembers. Varric's eyes narrowed. You speak boldly for someone in chains. I speak truthfully, she said. And the truth is this. My people will see this broadcast. Every human colony, every fleet, every soldier. She paused, letting the weight of her next words settle over the entire city. And when they do, your 1,000-year peace ends. Gasps, silence, disbelief. Then, a flicker of fear in the Emperor's eyes. Maya saw it. The entire galaxy saw it. The holofeed captured her final expression, a glare forged from iron and fire. It became the most replayed image in history. The moment the Empire displayed the human general, and the moment humanity stopped forgiving. Protocol Ashfall. The moment Maya's broadcast reached Earth, alarms began to echo across the Titan fortress, buried deep under Saturn's largest moon. The fortress was more than a military center. It was humanity's last resort contingency chamber, built in the ashes of the old wars. No one ever wanted it activated again. Yet the moment Maya Arden's chains appeared on the holofeed, the doors opened. Inside, the Senate gathered in a circle of reinforced steel and holographic displays. Every representative wore the same expression, disbelief melting into hatred. High Chancellor Rivas broke the silence first. Confirm it, he demanded. Is that truly General Arden? Admiral Ishan Varma nodded, face pale. We verified every pixel. Vashkara is broadcasting it on all Imperial channels. The Empire is using her as a symbol of humiliation, a symbol of ownership. Earth had not forgotten its past, no matter how peaceful it had tried to become. Chancellor Rivas straightened, voice trembling. The Empire violated the Treaty of Solis. A diplomatic envoy was attacked. A general displayed, his fists clenched. This is an act of war. The words hung heavy, like the dropping of a guillotine. No one argued. The general stood at once. Then the admirals, then the intelligence directors. Admiral Varma stepped forward, eyes locked on the council. We all know what happens next. The chamber lights dimmed automatically, sensing the shift in command authority. A single glowing red circle appeared on the floor between them, the activation seal. Rivas exhaled. God forgive us. His palm hit the seal. Titan Fortress roared to life. Screens unfolded from the ceiling, orbital satellites aligned. Deep space engines reactivated after centuries of dormancy. The AI intelligence node, ASH, awakened with a low, mechanical hum. Protocol Ashfall activated. Threat level, existential. Target, Galactic Empire. Every human heart watching felt the old fire ignite again. Across the solar system, within minutes, every colony, from the Martian rings to Neptune's mining belts, received the official declaration. The Galactic Empire has violated the peace. Prepare for mobilization. There was no panic, only a familiar readiness buried deep in humanity's bones. Soldiers left homes quietly. Pilots kissed their children once more. Old War veterans opened locked cases containing medals and weapons long thought irrelevant. On the orbital station Haven 3, a Marine captain whispered the old oath as she strapped into her armor. Protect humanity. Respect dignity. Defend our own. For the first time in 1,000 years, humanity remembered who they were. The sleeping giants awake. Hidden in asteroid belts, the ancient dreadnoughts flickered alive. Massive constructs built during the last war, but never deployed again. Their hulls bore the scars of forgotten battles. Their supernova engines hummed with lethal energy. A fleet commander transmitted a single line. Black flag authorization? Earth replied instantly. Approved. One by one, human ships replaced the peaceful emblem of the Sol Alliance with the infamous Black Banner. A white horizontal line cut through it. a symbol representing the boundary that must never be crossed. The display of Maya Arden had crossed it. Allied reactions. Across the galaxy, neutral species watched the broadcast in silent dread. On the aquatic world of Lumaro, the ruling council froze mid-session. One elder murmured, "The humans will not negotiate this." On Yareth Prime, mercenary warlords turned off the holofeed with shaking hands. They displayed a human general, one whispered. Do they not remember what happened the last time the Empire insulted humanity? Even the quiet, scholarly Nithians stared in horror. Their historical databases already ran calculations. Outcome: galactic power shift imminent. Inside the Empire, the Emperor's palace was in uproar. Imperial press lords argued. Generals shouted. Diplomats panicked. Minister Salrex stormed into the throne hall, scales bristling. "What have you done?" he hissed at Varric. "Humans do not react like other species. They retaliate with extermination-level efficiency." Varric's jaw clenched. The display was meant to assert dominance. Humanity has grown complacent. Complacent? Salrex snapped. The ending the old wars is not weakness. It is mercy. Varric waved him off. Humanity is outnumbered. Their fleets are outdated. A trembling comm officer rushed in, eyes wide. "Your Majesty, Earth's Black Fleet is moving." "Let them come," Varric said. "We will crush their arrogance." But even as he spoke, he could feel it, the faint tremor under his scales. A fear he hadn't felt since childhood stories whispered about old war legends. Humanity didn't start wars. Humans survived them, and humans ended them. Maya in capture. Deep beneath the Imperial capital, Maya Arden sat in her reinforced cell. The walls vibrated. Telemetry from distant human movements, too subtle for alien senses, but unmistakable to her trained ear. She could feel it in her bones like an old song. They were coming. Her guard, a young reptilian officer, glared at her through the bars. "Your species cannot win," he said, though his voice lacked conviction. "You are few. The Empire is vast." Maya didn't respond. She simply closed her eyes, breathing steady, heartbeat calm. When she finally spoke, her voice was soft but certain. "You'll understand soon." The guard frowned. "Understand what?" "That the Empire didn't display a prisoner," she said. She opened her eyes, steel bright. "They issued a final warning to humanity." She leaned forward slightly. "And humanity always answers." The general who would not break. They expected her to be broken by now. General Aria Halden sat chained to a grav slab in a chamber designed with a single purpose: to dismantle a prisoner's will molecule by molecule. The walls pulsed with faint iridescent light, organic circuits that reacted to pain, amplifying it, savoring it. Every time she inhaled, the air tasted of metallic spores, engineered to heighten fear responses. Too bad for the Galactic Empire that humans didn't follow their biology rules. Arya opened her eyes as the door hissed apart. Two Korthai guards entered, spines clicking, mandibles clenching in irritation. Behind them slithered Adjudicator Kreshol, the Empire's psionic inquisitor. He floated more than stepped, using a biothrone that kept his grotesque, elongated brain suspended in nutrient gel. "General Halden," Kreshol purred. "It has been 14 cycles. Statistically, you should be begging." Arya rolled her aching shoulders. "Maybe I'm skewing your statistics." The Inquisitor's mouth thinned. "Your defiance is wasteful. Humanity has already been punished. Your people have withdrawn diplomats, shut down trade, and mobilized fleets. For what? One human soldier, General," Arya corrected, smiling faintly. "And yes, one human general." The Inquisitor drifted closer, his psionic tendrils brushing her thoughts like icy needles. He saw cracks in her psyche. He found something else. Razor wire, iron gates, fire. "You humans are unusual," he admitted. "Your memories resist extraction. Your fear centers are erratic. Your emotional impulses border on self-destructive. We call it grit. We call it genetic malfunction." Arya laughed, which infuriated him more than any scream could have. Kreshol extended a tendril toward her temple. This session will continue until you understand your position. The Empire displayed you to remind humanity what obedience looks like. Aria's jaw tightened. Displaying me is the last thing you should have done. He paused. Explain. She leaned forward until the chain strained. You didn't display a prisoner. You displayed a symbol. And symbols ignite things. Krezel recoiled slightly. Something in her voice had unsettled him. She didn't sound desperate. She sounded victorious. Before he could probe further, an alarm wailed, a low, bass resonance that vibrated through their bones. The guards froze. Krezel stiffened in his gel throne. What is this? He demanded, mandibles flaring. Aria knew. Human engineering had a very distinct signature, and she felt it thrumming through the walls like a heartbeat. The station had just been hit with a micro-distortion shockwave, precisely controlled, undeniably Terran. She smiled. That's humanity saying hello. Krezel's eyes bulged. Impossible. The treaty forbids direct assault. You violated the treaty the moment you put me on that stage, Aria replied calmly. The chamber shook again, dust drifting from the ceiling. The Inquisitor hovered backward, panic overriding arrogance. No. The Terrans would not risk open war. They are bound by their logic, their diplomacy. You don't understand humans at all, Aria said softly. We build diplomacy on hope. But our rage? Though we build on certainty. The door burst open, and a Korthai officer scrambled in, wheezing. Adjudicator. Terran Hammer-class warships have entered the system. They are ignoring all hails. Krezel's brain case flickered with terror. Deploy defense arrays. We did. They're gone. Disabled in the first strike. They knew our frequencies, all of them. Aria exhaled slowly. Her people were here. Not with negotiations. Not with threats. With purpose. Krezel turned on her, fury tinged with fear. You brought this doom. You orchestrated this. Humans do not respond this quickly. You really think your Empire's surveillance is better than ours? She said. My capture was logged before your ship even cloaked. The moment you touched me, Earth knew. And now? Krezel hissed. Aria nodded behind him. The wall detonated inward. A team of Terran shock Marines stormed through, armor black as a starless void, visors blazing with tactical runes. At their center stepped Commander Aria Solis, Aria's oldest friend, expression cold enough to freeze vacuums. General, Aria said, leveling her rifle at the nearest guard. We're ending your vacation early. Aria's laugh was ragged. About damn time. The guards lunged forward. They died before taking a second step. Krezel shrieked and activated a psionic burst, forcing the Marines to brace as their helmets flared with counter-resonance. Aria fired a stabilizer dart into the Inquisitor's throne, shorting its neural amplification. Krezel collapsed, spasming, his psychic attack dissolving into a whimper. Aria rushed to Aria, slicing the grav chains with a heated blade. Can you walk? Aria pushed herself upright, muscles trembling but spirit unbroken. Stumbling passionately is still walking. Good, Aria said, slinging Aria's arm over her shoulder. Because we're not leaving quietly. The station rocked as another Terran strike hammered the hull. Screams echoed in distant corridors. Alarm lights bathed everything in blood-red glow. Aria looked back at the collapsed Inquisitor. Send a message to the Empire, she said to Aria. What message? Aria's eyes hardened, voice low and lethal. Humanity doesn't forgive. The day humanity stopped bowing. The Terran strike fleet didn't come to negotiate. It came to end an era. The Galactic Empire's 1,000-year peace, already cracked, was about to shatter completely. General Aria Halden limped through the smoke-filled corridor of the detention ring, with Commander Aria Solis at her side. Behind them, Terran shock Marines secured junction points with ruthless efficiency. The ship groaned under distant explosions, each one the signature pulse of Terran rail lances, firing with surgical precision. This was not conquest. This was extraction and retribution. A Korthai alarm blared, high-pitched, frantic, almost alive in its terror. Imperial soldiers scurried through branching corridors, some fighting, some fleeing. The Empire had never prepared for a war with humanity. They believed humans too emotional, too diplomatic, too restrained. They were wrong. Rhea tapped her comm. Strike Team Echo. Status? Primary anti-ship batteries disabled. Came to reply. Docking bay secure. Resistance minimal. They're panicking. Aria grit her teeth. Good. Keep them panicking. Rhea eyed her. You doing okay? I'll be okay when we're off this station, Aria said. And when Empire learns exactly why displaying me was the worst political decision since they legalized plasma dueling inside ventilation hubs. Rhea snorted. Fair. They turned a corner and stopped abruptly. A squad of Empire enforcers blocked the passage, weapons raised. At their center stood High Strategos Vezir, his ornate armor reflecting the flickering emergency lights. He was one of the minds behind the display, one of the architects of Aria's humiliation. He stepped forward. General Halden, he said, you will remain here. Surrender yourself, and your people may still be spared annihilation. Rhea raised her rifle to answer for Aria, but Aria lifted a hand, stepping forward. You displayed me like an animal, Aria said quietly. You tortured me, paraded me, and told the galaxy I was proof of humanity's weakness. It was a miscalculation, Vezir growled. A miscalculation? Aria's voice rose, iron hard. You didn't miscalculate. You underestimated. And most important rule in galactic history is simple. You never underestimate humans. The enforcers shifted, uncertain. Vezir tried again. We can still restore the treaty. No, Aria said. You ended it when you turned a soldier into a spectacle. Rhea nodded. And we're here to return the favor. Before Vezir could shout an order, Aria drew the sidearm Rhea had given her, her hand steady despite the pain. A single shot pierced Vezir's shoulder, sending him crashing backward. He stared at her in shock. You would shoot an unarmed negotiator? You stopped being a negotiator when you put me on a chain, Aria said. Move. The enforcers broke before her glare, scrambling aside as the Terran team advanced. Rhea exhaled. Never thought I'd see an Imperial Strategos retreat like a scared recruit. Aria slid the weapon back into its holster. They thought they were the apex species. Now, they're learning they were just loud. They reached the docking bay as the Terran flagship, TSS Vengeance, extended boarding arms through a shattered hangar wall. Sparks showered the floor, smoke billowing as the gravity field fluctuated. Admiral Voss himself strode down the ramp, broad-shouldered, silver-eyed, expression carved from stone. When he saw Aria, something like relief cracked the mask. General, we came the moment we received the signal. Aria managed a weary salute. Admiral, I apologize for the trouble. Trouble? Voss stepped closer, voice low. The Galactic Empire put you in chains. That is not trouble. That is casus belli. Aria hesitated. What's the situation outside? Voss glanced at the bay's blast shield, which trembled under another distant strike. Empire fleets are rallying. They claim they want to negotiate. Their definition of negotiation involves firing from behind asteroids. Sounds like the Empire, Aria muttered. Voss gestured to the ramp. Time to leave, General. Once you're aboard, the real conversation begins. Aria stopped short. Admiral, we're not starting a galaxy-wide war. No, Voss said. We're ending one. She frowned. But the Empire ended the treaty the moment they displayed you, Voss said. We just haven't made the announcement official. Aria closed her eyes for a moment. The 1,000-year peace was dead. Her humiliation had become a catalyst, not by her choice, but by the Empire's arrogance. And now humanity had to decide its next step. She opened her eyes. Very well, Aria said, but we don't target civilians. We don't scorch worlds. We don't become what they are. Voss nodded. Agreed. We show restraint, but we also show strength. Rhea smirked. The kind of strength that makes empires rethink their life choices. Aria stepped into the TSS Vengeance, turning just once to look back at the smoking station where she had been chained. No fear, no shame, just resolve. Admiral, she said as the ramp closed behind them, Let's make it clear to the galaxy. Voss folded his hands behind his back. What message shall we send, General? Aria's voice was steady, sharp, unyielding. Humanity will not bow. Not again. Not ever. The strike fleet ignited its engines. The Empire trembled. And the galaxy learned what happened when you raised a hand against a human general.